Now, what's up guys, welcome back to my YouTube channel. You know, it's your boy V Dollar back in today's video. Now, without any games, I have some crazy challenge happening here. So I've been trading on a $50 account for only 24 hours. Now, the crazy part about it is that I've actually been able to grow up this $50 account in only 24 hours. Now, I'm going to be doing a breakdown of all the trades that I actually took and all the details about this account, because it's literally so important. So just like how you guys can see in this screenshot, I only deposited $50, and then the first trade that I actually took was GBP/USD. It hit take profit, and boom, I was actually asleep because I had to let these trades run overnight. Okay, so first things first, when you are going to try trading on a small account, let's say $50 or $100, you really need to mind about the spreads. Okay, now what I want us to do is you need to get a broker with tighter spreads. Okay, so maybe when you've been trading on a smaller time frame, you don't have to see the difference, because sometimes you would actually be on a smaller time frame and you literally can't make any profits there because the spreads are really so big. So we need to use a broker with tighter spreads. You can actually use the same broker that I use. The link is in the description below. So for this particular account, I have a bigger leverage, but you guys really understand that the bigger the leverage, of course, the bigger the risk. But regardless, when you have something to hit, you definitely have to go for what you want. So on this account, I have 1 to 1,000. Okay, so that's the leverage. Now, there are a few things that actually always look into before I open up these trades. Okay, so first things first, of course, I need to look at the lot sizes. So on a $50 account, the best lot sizes to use for risk management is 0.01, 0.02. But when you're trying to flip it up or grow it into a big account, that could take forever. So let's just have a look at some of the trades that I actually took, and then I'll break down how I actually caught up these. Alright, now as you guys can see, this was the first trades that I actually took. So this was GBP/USD all along, so I took sales. You guys can see that lot size were relatively so big because I had 0.08, that's 3 times, and then 0.04, so that's crazy. Now, one thing that I want you guys to really consider is the margin level. Every time your margin level goes below 100, you have a bigger chance of blowing up the account so fast. So always when you're trying to open up bigger lot sizes, have a look at the margin level. It's really so important. To me personally, I always consider this keeping at least above 500, sometimes 500 or sometimes 1,000. It's even better that way. But if you see it really going so low up to about 100, all of a sudden you will possibly get a margin call. So to run away from such incidents, you really need to be so conscious about your margin level. Okay, so as you guys can see, I opened up these trades late. It was actually the New York session, so I opened up these trades 0.08, 0.08, 0.08, 0.04. Now I'm going to show you how I was actually able to analyze these trades straight up. Alright, now straight up, so we are going to dive into these charts, and I'm going to show you this easy strategy and the breakdown on how I actually got these trades. Okay, now don't think about complicated things, because I brought something really so easy, because at the end of the day, trading is all about simplicity. So let's dive into it. So you guys can see that I have 3 cars. I have the green one, I have the red one, I have the blue one. Okay, now how do I get this? So I'm going to first delete, boom, and then I'm going to show you. So whether you're using TradingView or MT4, what you just need to do is check for indicators. So on TradingView, I would have to click on indicators, and then I'm going to type in alligator, right? Okay, boom. So it's called the Williams alligator, and there we go. So we don't have to change any of its settings, no, because we don't need to change any. So basically that's all we need. Okay, now let's go to the H1, because this is basically why I took this beautiful GBP/USD trade. Later on, I'm going to show you how I also got the Euro AUD trade, because it was all the profits, right? So you guys can see I took these sales from this point here. Now, of course, you guys can really see before we even go any further that it was a beautiful downtrend. But now let's assume that you actually didn't even know how to identify the trend. So what we are going to do is we have our alligator on. So how does it work? So you guys can see that we have the green and the red. Okay, the two red, could I call them lines or cars, but you guys can see this. So what we are looking at is we are looking at the crossover. So when we have a green line, a green curve crossing below the red curve, of course now that we are taking sales. So just like how you guys can see in here, is we could try to compare this to the moving average strategy. Like I said sometime back, we had the two moving averages, the 20 and the 25 moving averages, those being the periods, and then we were looking at crossovers. So let's leave that aside. So for this alligator, of course, we are looking at the green moving average crossing below the red moving average. So at this particular point, this is how I got a trade. Now let's scale down to M15. Now we scale down to smaller time frames to just avoid the lagging effect, because sometimes you could try to get a trade, yet the trade had actually left you already. So we always need to avoid the lagging. Okay, so now you guys need to see this. Actually, the more you scale down to smaller time frames, the more you eliminate the chances of lagging or finding that the move had actually left you already. So check this point out. So you can see that immediately when the green moving average crossed below the red moving average, guess what? This is where I got my trade straight up in. Now, if we can mark out this level first and then we scale down to a smaller time frame, you are going to see how even clearer this thing was. So let me go ahead and just change the look of this. Boom. Oh, let's just make it visible. Black. Okay, boom. Now let's try to scale down to a smaller time frame, maybe the M5, and then you're going to see how this really works. Boom. So you can see, so we can clearly see that on the M15 we saw when the move was starting immediately. So this helps us avoid all the lagging effect that, okay, maybe the crossover happened after the move had actually started off. No, just scale down to a smaller time frame and get that trade straight up in. So you can see I rode this beautiful move from around here, and then I had my take profit, just a little bit scaling down to the M15, so I can show you why I had my take profit and all that. So I had my take profit around here, and then my stop loss around so I had my stop loss around this level, and then my take profit around here. So I had a target of about 1 to 2. So you can see that. Now guess what? Of course, as the move, as the crossover happens or continues happening, just know that the move is still happening. So what you just need to look at is the end of the crossover. As the crossover closes off, please go ahead and close that trade, right? You guys get that? So either way, if I'd actually watching the charts, I would have also gotten a buy trade, just a short-term buy from here, and boom, I'd have read it still. So I can see some trade showing up here. So what we should do is, let's just see, and we can get this trade together. So you guys can see that we are going to have a crossover again. Easy. This is some easy stuff. So you can see that we expect a crossover. So now let's try to check on a smaller time frame, maybe the M5. And we can see, so on the M5, the crossover is not yet still clear. So what we just have to do is we need to wait patiently. So as it forms up, I'll take my trade straight up, my sales trade. So either way, let's look at the Euro AUD trade, because I also called that a beautiful one. And so on Euro AUD, I took these buys. You can see how this really shows up. Easy stuff, right? Again, we can see that the green the green line crossed above the red line, and boom, it was a good entry for a buy just at this particular point here. Okay, you guys can see that straight up. There we go, right? So you can see that this is some easy winning magic, right? So at the end of the day, you just have to apply this to your charts, and boom. So on MT4, what you can do, you can just go click on the F, that's let's say you're using the mobile phone, and then look for the alligator, and boom, add it on. It's a trend indicator, meaning it works with the trend. Okay, straight up. So basically that's how I was actually able to get these trades in for this account. So I'll keep updating you guys as I keep trading on this small account. You can join our main Telegram channel. The link is in the below. And I'll see you guys out.